I'm Dave Anthony. Fox News. Former President Trump will go to court today in New York, not for one of his 4 criminal trials, for a civil trial related to the Trump Organization.
Days after the judge ruled Trump and his 2 sons committed a years-long fraud scheme, allegedly inflating their assets on business documents to get better loans and insurance deals. Now, Attorney General James is seeking a $250 million penalty against the former president and his company.
That's Fox's Brooke Singman. On social media, the former president called on the judge to resign, saying that ruling was an abuse of power. California Governor Gavin Newsom is appointing a black woman to the Senate. LaFonza Butler is a Democratic strategist and former advisor to Vice President Harris and will replace the late Senator Dianne Feinstein, who died last week at the age of 90. In the House, some Republicans led by Congressman Matt Gaetz want to oust Speaker Kevin McCarthy, who's also a Republican, for working with Democrats to get short-term spending approved Saturday to avert a government shutdown Sunday. Here's Fox's Alexandria Hoff.
Because he reached across the aisle, Congressman Gaetz said this weekend that he's making good on a threat to file a motion to vacate against the speaker this week. And he says he's got backup for that.
How many Republicans do you have?
Well, enough so that when you host this show next week, if Kevin McCarthy is still the Speaker of the House, he will be serving at the pleasure of the Democrats.
Gaetz said that on CNN State of the Union. McCarthy says bring it on, predicting he will survive and remain Speaker, telling Fox News Sunday it's personal for Gaetz.
Matt's probably planned this from the day I ran for Speaker, if you watched. He never voted for it.
It's October. That has the Supreme Court back to work, starting a new term. The Nobel Prize for Medicine was awarded this morning to 2 University of Pennsylvania scientists for their work fighting COVID. Catalina Carrico and David Weissman, who developed mRNA technology used to make a COVID vaccine. America's listening to Fox News.
Jesse Kelly here. Do you feel protected? My personal protection plan is owning gold. The Oxford Gold Group helps you buy gold to have on hand or convert it into your 401k. If things get weird, I have gold on hand. I like that. You can buy coins or convert part of your 401k with the Oxford Gold Group. It's easy and safe. 833-995-GOLD. That's 833-995-GOLD. 833-995-GOLD.
Identity theft shows no signs of slowing down. In fact, more than $29 billion were stolen last year alone. That's a criminal success story and a wake-up call for everyone else. It can be dangerously easy to steal your identity. LifeLock makes it easy to help protect yourself if you become a victim. A dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. Join now and save up to 25% your first year with my name, Clay, as your promo code at LifeLock.com, promo code Clay.
It's not just House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, whose job may be on the line over Saturday's funding vote. Democratic Congressman Jamal Bowman's under fire for pulling a fire alarm, delaying that vote. GOP Congresswoman Nicole Maliotakis will introduce a resolution to expel Bowman. She just told Fox,
look, it's a misdemeanor for pulling the fire alarm, but it's a felony if you're doing it to obstruct a government proceeding.
Democrat Jamal Bowman of New York said in a statement he pulled the alarm thinking it was a lever to help him open a door to get to the critical vote. He added it was in no way an effort to delay his vote on keeping government running.
That's Fox's Gernal Scott. When Congress approved that 45-day funding bill, additional military aid to Ukraine was left out of it. Amid some Republican objections, they say, we've given Ukraine enough. The Senate's Democratic leader is pushing a separate plan for more Ukraine aid. President Biden says,
I hope my friends on the other side keep their word about support for Ukraine. They said they're going to support Ukraine in a separate vote. We cannot, under any circumstance, allow American support for Ukraine to be interrupted.
A disaster in Mexico where at least 10 people are dead when a church roof collapsed.
Rescuers are searching through the rubble for trapped parishioners in the Gulf Coast city of Ciudad Madero. At least 24 of them were believed to have been trapped of the 100 people who were inside at the time of the collapse. Eyewitnesses report the tragedy happened as worshippers lined up to take communion. Bricks, concrete and steel raining down. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are down modestly, coming off the worst month of the year. In the NFL, it's down to 2 teams still undefeated. San Francisco and Philadelphia both won. Miami falls to 3-1 after being blown out in Buffalo. Denver and Minnesota won their first games. In the Sunday night football game, Kansas City beat the New York Jets 23-20. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at your morning news. 5 people, including 2 children, died after Friday night's anhydrous ammonia leak in Teotopolis. The children and 1 adult part of the same family. They're from the area. The 2 other dead are from out of state. Another 5 airlifted to regional hospitals, the truck carrying about 7,500 gallons of anhydrous ammonia at the time. Governor Pritzker defending the state's response to the migrant crisis in Chicago. He said the state spent $328 million to help manage the crisis. His comments come after some Chicago aldermen have accused the state of not helping out enough. The governor called on the federal government to provide additional resources. Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul is amending a lawsuit his office filed in 2018 against Chicago's Trump Tower. Raoul's second amended complaint claims the downtown Chicago property continuing to break environmental laws by significantly underreporting the average daily volume of water it discharges into the Chicago River. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Well, good morning,
It's October 2nd.
October.
I know it.
2 months from Gracie getting married.
Wow.
2 months from today. So it's April 17, your birthday for you. Because you were 2 months out on April 17. All right. Good morning, everybody. I'm Stevie Jay. That's Diane Ducey. Weather brought to you by Busey. They've been around for over 150 years. Amazingly, same name. Busey, member of FDIC. Our meteorologist is Greg Solier, the learned one. Mr. Solier, it's a beautiful morning and nice and warm, huh?
Yeah, very much a summer-like weather pattern here. The first part of the week, middle part of the week, begin a transition around here, and just a bit of rain, nothing to get worked up about, not like some of the totals we saw over parts of the Corn Belt last week, enough to settle the dust, if you will, and we'll turn it a little more October-ish around here for a couple of 3 or 4 days, beginning more so Friday into the weekend, and begin to pull out of this early next week with another big warm-up or two between now and the middle part of the month of October. And after this stuff that comes through here Thursday to early Friday, it still continues to look and behave much like a drier than usual weather pattern here for the middle stretch of October around here, and probably beyond too. So no need to rush and panic and all that kind of stuff with backyard and back 40 and harvest related work. Remember, safety first out there. 59 now, Willard and Savoy, 55 Danville, 61 Bloomington Normal, 56 up at the Kankakee. Summer-like high, more or less like late to mid-August around here at 87. Mostly sunny. The light southeast wind continues on. Clear tonight, mild, lows either side of 60. Very warm for the day tomorrow. Summer-like high at 88, but humidity in check. South breeze and tons of sunshine. Sun and clouds, 85 on Wednesday. Cold front, a little disturbance will track along and behind it. So we're going to do some increasing shower prospects here for Thursday. Couple sprinkles into Friday. Should be 1/4 inch or less. No big deal. 73, more seasonal on Thursday. A little chill in the air at 64 on Friday. Won't get out of the 50s here. 57 the high on Saturday. And we'll head back into the low to mid 60s for Sunday and Monday with dry skies and sunshine through the beginning part of next week. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Well, we averted a government shutdown over the weekend. That was good news. That happened Saturday. Right up to the deadline. She is Raven Harrison. She's written a book called Raven's Mantle. She ran for Congress at one point in her life. You going to run again, Raven? Or is this it?
Oh, it's likely, but haven't quite decided yet.
Yeah. Got to have some funding in that stuff, right?
Well, somebody's got to do it, and boy, if this is any indication of what we're facing, then I need to do it yesterday.
Okay, so the government not shut down for a minute, but it's going to come back in a month and a half, right?
Correct. Hold your beer till November 17th.
Okay, so aren't we going to go through this again, and who's going to be the speaker? Are they trying to remove, isn't Matt Gaetz going to file papers to try to get rid of Kevin McCarthy, right?
Well, we're going to see. This is a real good week to see who's going to do what they say they're going to do. This is political theater classic 101. So virtue signaling on Friday, deal made in the cloak of night on Saturday, and nobody's happy. So what we've got right now is we've got no funding for Ukraine, supposedly, no funding for the southern border, but $16 billion earmarked for disaster relief, and nobody knows what that exactly is for. It's not going to Hawaii, as far as we know, but that's what we're looking at, is the spending level remains the same, and in 45 days, we will have the exact same problem.
Well, it's not very impressive, right? I mean,
it's not.
It's just like these guys are a mess. Everybody's a mess, and they can't.
They are on both sides, and now we've got drama on the right with, there's a fracture with Gaetz saying he's going to vacate the chair. He's got the votes to do it. McCarthy saying this is political, which is almost ironically funny, that it's a political attack. But no, essentially, this is, not the fault of Kevin McCarthy, but it's his responsibility. This lies at his feet. Something has to be different. This cannot be the way the government functions, of just Band-Aid on an amputated limb and just keep kicking the can. And then when you're just really bored, you pull the fire alarm and say that, even though I'm a school superintendent, I had no idea that the sign that said that this would trigger if you held it down would actually trigger when I held it down.
Yeah, it was part of a male member of the squad, I guess, pulled the fire alarm before the vote. Yeah. What? And he didn't know that would clear a building. And who is this guy?
This is a congressman who says that he didn't realize it's clearly marked. It says that it not just that you had to pull it, you had to pull and hold, you had to hold it down. So there's a few seconds involved of which kind of destroys it was an accident narrative. And just important to remember, there are people in jail for what he just did. That is a felony. So that's where we have to and now it's an accident, but the ones who are in jail are saying, I wasn't doing anything. That's not going to fly. So it's real drama at the Capitol. It's really embarrassingly pathetic.
Which gets to the core of a major problem in America is there's no equal justice under the law. I really,
correct.
It's just really bad when, depending on the letter you have by your name, is depending on if you're going to be prosecuted for anything.
Correct. And then it's important. That's why people need to step in. Regular people need to come in, vote, get involved, run for office. This is what we, the people, means. The politicians who have made these problems are now the ones who are telling you they're going to fix them. You can't heal in the same environment that made you sick. It's not possible. So at the end of the day, it's up to us to kind of demand better and go, you know what, we're not going to accept this level of buffoonery from our elected officials.
Wonder what the letter grade America would give our politicians these days. What would the letter?
What's below F?
There's only F. You can't go F minus, right? But it's as far
Let's find out. Hold our beer.
Yeah. Well, as far as getting the job done, it just doesn't happen, and it's both parties. That's why we got Donald Trump. Is everyone is fed up with everything.
Deep house cleaning on both sides needed. That's what I tell people all the time: is be the change you want to see. We got to sweep it out on both sides.
But how many people Raven, would say, I don't want any part of that mess? And that's the problem, right?
Well, a lot of the people I know we're jumping in because, those who can do. And that's what we've got to do is just go, okay, at some point we got to stop shaking our fists at TV and just kind of get busy.
You're right. It's Raven's Mantle. Fighting the Betrayal of America is available everywhere, Raven?
It is. And online, Amazon and BarnesandNoble.com.
Always a pleasure. Appreciate you being on again. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's Raven Harrison from Texas, ESPN 93.5 on the Tavin's Towing phone line. Well, baseball, all intents and purposes, over. Cubs were eliminated on Saturday. And,
not so good on the sports weekend for local sports fanatics.
We will talk about Illinois.
Okay.
I was trying to avoid the subject. Yeah. So the Illini,
and the Bears, oh my goodness.
Bears had a 28-7 lead.
28-7 lead.
Yeah.
They lost. Comes back 31-28.
To a team that lost by 50 last week.
Social media is saying everybody should be fired.
Well, it's a rough weekend for the locals. And, let me talk about Illinois-Purdue. Just give you my take, but the real take will be this afternoon with Jay Lehman.
Mm-hmm.
Lonte, Derek Piper. Hear what those boys think, and we'll have the quarterback on, Luke Altmaier.
That's right.
Who's thinking of going to the game with hockey gear.
I see.
Goalie hockey gear on, because it's kind of what he needs.
It'll be Friday night against Nebraska at 7 o'clock at Memorial Stadium. That is a fun scene, though. So, I'm pretty much in it for the party and the atmosphere. So.
Well, sure, but we were coming in this year with a little bit more.
Right.
All right, a little more on that, but we'll do one final Cardinal wrap.
Here we go.
End on a win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With Ricky Horton, I'm John Rooney. Miles Michaelis equaled his career high with 10 strikeouts, topped 200 innings of pitching this year, and was the winning pitcher in a 4-3 victory for the Cardinals. That was over the Reds on Adam Wainwright Day.
So the Cardinals won the game, but Cardinal fans won the moment at the ballpark because they got to see the Wainwright ceremony, which could not have been better. Several former teammates of Adam on hand, including Albert Pujols, Yadier Molina. So the show could not have been better, and the win certainly helped. Ryan Helsley picked up the save.
The fans wanted to see Adam bat one more time. He did. He struck out, hit a couple of foul balls, but he got up there to the delight of over 44,000.
Well, every crowd wants to see him just one more time, and they saw him late in the game. Again, he didn't get the hit, but he was certainly a hit overall throughout the course of the day and in his career.
The Cardinals beat the Reds, and we thank you, Cardinal Nation, and all of our affiliates for your coverage this year. For Ricky Horton and our radio crew, I'm John Rooney. The Cardinals Hall of Fame and Museum is the official home of Cardinals history. For those who want to be a part of one of the sport's greatest collections in the world, museum membership is the way to go. Cardinals Museum membership provides unlimited admission for 1 year, exclusive Hall of Fame bobbleheads, discounts, ticket offers, and more, in addition to supporting exhibit design and artifact restoration. There are a variety of membership levels, including our ultimate level of membership. For more info and to join, go to cardinals.com/membership.
And Adam Wainwright got another bat in this weekend, huh?
Yeah, I struck out. That's all right.
Just wanted to see him.
I think he played a little concert Saturday night.
Okay.
He was down there with his flannel shirt on and his guitar and talking about how wonderful it's been to be a Cardinal.
Now, that could be a thing for him. And I saw, a little snippet of the ceremony, and Yadier Molina came to the mic, and it looked like Adam was like, as far as what is he going to say and how long is this going to, I didn't plan this to be part of the program. But
yeah, Albert Pujols also was there. So they talked, they had a big pregame celebration you heard on radio. And, it's an end of an era for the St. Louis Cardinals. Real disappointing year, but it's over. Now, next thing we'll be talking about is the Cardinal Caravan in January.
There you go.
And hope will spring eternal as the Cardinals make moves to get pitching.
Yeah.
For sure.
And, with this kind of a record of more than 90 losses, which hasn't happened since 1990, we'll get a pretty good draft pick, right?
5th or 6th.
Okay.
That's going to be a pretty good bait, but that's going to take. It's a lot different in baseball than the NBA and the NFL.
Okay.
It'll take years.
I see.
You go through, our friend from Muhammad who has a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
He'll go through the motion. He'll go to Class A. He'll go to Double A. He'll go to Triple. And then depends on any setbacks, or these guys are real good, but they don't want to put a kid in. Anybody remember the name David Clyde? If you're real old, you'll remember. He played for the Texas Rangers in the 70s. He was 18. And it was just too early.
Yeah.
So anyway, they'll be careful and they'll move them through. But the Cardinals will get a good pick. So there's that.
Well, and you really got a feel for it with your future son-in-law, Jacob Hurtubise, in the Cincinnati organization, going through all these moves. Milwaukee over the Chicago Cubs 4-0. Of course, Cubs were eliminated. Miami kept winning. And so Milwaukee and Arizona in the best of 3. That starts tomorrow, huh?
Yep. We're off and running.
Purdue over Illinois 44-19. Bears got beat by Denver 31-28.
If you care, I'll give you my thoughts on the Illini. Stand by. Our weather brought to you by Carl.
Carl reminds you, always looking for good members of the team, and there's terrific opportunities for growth. If you want to investigate some of the opportunities, visit carl.org/careers.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana vicinity. Boy, it's a real roller coaster ride of temperatures over the next 10 to 15 days. Summer-like for the next couple. Autumn-like, definitely so. And mid to late October feel for the end part of the week, early on into the weekend. Next week, and probably beyond, another big warm-up in sight, but nothing in the way of any major or significant rainfall expected, with outdoor work and harvest-related activities in mind. Mostly sunny for the day today. Southeast wind, the high around 87. Clear tonight. Mild lows either side of 60. Mostly sunny, very warm for the day tomorrow. The high around 88. 10 above average there with a southeast to south wind. Clouds increase, lows to the 60s for tomorrow night. Partly sunny, continued warm for the day on Wednesday. Highs up to 85 degrees. Couple of rounds of shower activity for the day Thursday. Cooler at 73. Cool day on Friday. Couple of afternoon sprinkles at 64. Nights in the upper 30s to mid 40s. Weekend highs 57 on Saturday. 61 Sunday into the mid to upper 60s early next week. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
Since Busey Bank first opened our doors in 1868, we have built upon a tradition of close relationships and broad financial capabilities. Our experienced team provides the highest level of personalized service to ensure we accomplish your goals, simplifying your wealth management and business lending needs and ensuring a legacy for generations. Building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini.
Yep, it's October 2.
Tapman's Towing.
October 2, my friends. Don't be writing anything else. 10-2-23.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Tesla has launched a new version of its Model Y SUV in China. The update includes a new wheel design, though Tesla still has not started producing its Cybertruck. CEO Elon Musk suggested this spring the truck would arrive in the third quarter, but that quarter ended on Saturday. The UAW and Mack Trucks have a new tentative agreement averting a strike this morning. Another strike would have cut into the union strike fund. Walgreens is being sued by Cooler Screens, a company that sells advertising space on refrigerator doors. The company says Walgreens didn't live up to its agreement to roll out the screens nationwide, and it says Walgreens demanded the screens be removed. But Walgreens says the screens did not work properly. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
From the Fox News Podcasts Network. Listen to the all-new Bret Baier podcast featuring Common Ground, talking to lawmakers weekly from opposite sides of the political spectrum about the issues of the day and how Americans can find common ground in a politicized world.
That's just not happening on Capitol Hill. It takes leadership, right?
Yeah, it absolutely does.
Along with all your Bret Baier favorites like the campaign, the candidates, the all-star panel, and much more. Available now at foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Tapman's Towing, team of experienced tow professionals, is seeking others with CDLs, previous tow experience, and or strong interest in serving others. Please visit our career page at tapmanstowing.com.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Obviously very disappointed, especially in the second half. I think coming into it, knew that it was going to be a four-quarter game. Thought our guys persevered through the first half, obviously to give up the strip sack touchdown and to come in the locker room 16-13. Knowing that we had spotted them a touchdown and defense had kind of held their own to get into those 3 field goal opportunities. Just 16-13 half, felt really good about it, but the tail of the game was probably third downs. We were abysmal on offense, and they were pretty successful on defense. And then the 3rd and 8, I think it was the first quarter of the second half, that was a killer. It was a bust coverage down the middle, right where the tight end was at. So look, we got to make plays, right? When those opportunities come, I know there was a wide open touchdown pass early on. We overthrew Henry Boyer literally on the first series. That things that happened early in the game. That's why I kind of come out of a couple games this year. The first series, we moved the ball, did some things, and we didn't come away with points. So we did convert the 1 4th down, but I just felt we wanted to take points there at the end of that first drive, which did get us on the board and felt good where we're at. And they had the strip sack, which put them ahead, and then battle back. But bottom line, you got to make plays in this league. As coaches, we just got to do so much better. For me personally, as a head coach, obviously to be in a 16-13 halftime game and to have it end that way. I was trying to win the game. Obviously, that's why we went forward on 4th down on a couple of different occasions. We just playing the numbers. You couldn't win that game if we didn't go for it.
All right, that's Brett Bill after a very disappointing game in West Lafayette. It was, in fact, 16-13 and a half, and then Purdue scored 21 points in the third quarter.
Yeah.
And it was over. So, I mean, again, it's hard to sugarcoat it. We are struggling offensive line-wise, so you're going to have to do some things differently. You're going to have to open up and throw. I mean, Luke Altmaier runs back. I counted 2.5 seconds about what he gets, and it isn't long enough. If you put most of these Division I Power 5 conferences and you give quarterbacks time to throw, a lot of them can throw it. The miss he had on the touchdown was just a miss. I mean, missed by a lot. The guy was so open. And then Pat Bryant had a touchdown on his fingers and couldn't quite hold it. Anyway, it was disappointing. And what really hurts is that we come off of a year last year And I've talked about it many times, that expectation. And if you don't, then it's like unbelievable years when you achieve things you don't expect as a fan.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's unbelievable years when you don't achieve what's expected. And right now, good news, bad news. Good news is the West is really weak. Bad news is we're not real good either. So and I've talked about playing a clean game. Don't think the players and coaches don't want clean game, meaning no turnovers and no penalties. They obviously struggle with that because we had 9 penalties and some pretty big ones. But it felt bad at the end, and coach addressed it. Felt like Lovie Smith years.
I see.
Where it was just over. And I went downstairs, started painting again because I didn't need to hear it.
Right.
I knew I've seen this before. And so what's a bummer is that we're all jacked. 10,000 new in. And it's going to be, people have folded their arms already.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're the program we are, which is inconsistent, and we've all lingered with the question, why? Why can't Illinois win 6 games every year like Iowa and Wisconsin? Well, firstly, Iowa starts out with 3 easy games, and so they're 3-0. So even if it's a bad game, but we're still 3-1, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
We start out, whoever the genius was that scheduled these games, with 3 ridiculously hard games.
Right.
So
you didn't know back then, 10 years ago, when they're
why do we
schedule.
schedule 10 years? Why don't we schedule 3 years out when we know the program sucks so we win?
Maybe.
We have to win early so we build confidence. You build a program through bowl games.
Right.
And if we challenge too much challenge, we're not ready for that.
Yeah.
We need to get easy wins. So whatever we can get on the schedule, I'd go look at number 320 in the Power 5. Who's down there? Give them a game. Give them 350,000 to come in.
That's right.
Whatever. But we need to win those games without much effort. Oh, we don't know how good we are. I don't care. The goal is the 6.
Right.
We got to get postseason. That's the whole program building aspect.
Okay, I like that point, Stevie.
You have to schedule something easier for us. And I know we got Duke next year. And, of course, Duke's good again. Or maybe they've never been this good. Anyway, it's just what we've got, and it's disappointing. Can we beat Nebraska? Yes. Will we beat? I don't know. And I watched the game, and it's just like, you know what? Ifs and nuts or candies and nuts. So like, if we could play mistake-free, 3 penalties, not 9 or 10, and if we could not turn the ball over in the end zone for an easy touchdown for them, obviously we could beat it. I don't think we have a chance against Maryland. They've proven to be. Mike Loxley, our former offensive coordinator, with Ron Zook, has Maryland rolling, undefeated going into Ohio State. They are a scoring machine with Tua Tagliavia, his brother.
Yeah.
And so we're not going to have a chance at Maryland. And Iowa, I think, Iowa's hard always, but their offense isn't very good. So who knows? The bottom line is we're going to should be competitive in all these games, but we could lose all the games.
That's right.
Keep in mind they're looking at us going, we got Illinois.
That's right.
Yes. So it's just a bummer because we're disappointed. Obviously not to the levels of the players and the coaches and Josh Whitman. I mean, we're just disappointed. And we thought we could come out, have a little bounce, got some NIL money for our big players, and it just didn't happen. So it was really disappointing the way that happened unraveled in the second half. So all you can do is strap it on, go Friday night, and if you don't beat Nebraska, it could be tough. It could be a really long year. But because then you got Wisconsin, who's going to come in here.
Well, Maryland will be right after Nebraska,
okay.
October 14th at 11 or 2:30.
And then is a Wisconsin for homecoming.
Wisconsin for homecoming on October 21st.
All right, well, you could lose all 3.
Yeah.
Or you could,
And Minnesota, November 4.
No, I mean, these are games you're going, we are. But they're looking at us the same.
I know.
So it's just, I don't know what to say. I can't candy coat it anymore.
Right.
It wasn't very good. And so I'm hoping that
What you maintained on the fence on Friday saying, I don't know.
I don't know my team. And this team is unfortunately mistake prone. But Luke Altmaier, I think, is a quality human and a very talented quarterback if he had any time to sit there and throw it.
So the offensive line?
Ooh, I don't know. We move guys around. There's injuries. We're not deep.
Okay.
And so what you have to do, you got to change the offense. You got to run a little more, and you got to pass quicker because you don't have time to pass deeper.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to go dink, dink, dink. That's all you got.
Okay.
Because you can't drop back. My gosh. Our guys weren't getting hands on him. They're way quicker.
Well, Isaiah Williams got 6 passes.
Isaiah should get 15. I think Tip Reisman should get 5 or 10. And it's you don't have time to drop back and look. So you're gonna have to change that because we can't block. I think we all, not against the guys. Injuries. We moved our best left guard to right tackle. That can't be easy. Anyway, on we go.
Yes.
Rooting for
Go
us.
Illini.
Go Illini.
Let's do this.
Just, and again,
Nebraska Friday at 7. That's in the scope.
Stand by Brett Bielema. I think he's a great coach. We just got to fix a few things, and I think he'll try. But when you have traits like this, generally that's what you got. And as he said last week, he said it might not be easy for this bunch. Nothing's going to be easy. Well, kind of fortunate to win 2 games, really, if you look back.
That's right.
See if we can get number 3 on Friday night. All right, back in a moment. ESPN 93.5. I am Stevie Jay. It is 7:30 in Champaign-Urbana.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. Donald Trump says he will be in a New York courtroom for a civil trial tied to his business practices, taking to Truth Social his platform bashing the judge.
He said, quote, he should resign from the bench and be sanctioned by the courts for his abuse of power and his intentional and criminal interference with the presidential election of 2024. Likewise, Letitia James should resign for purposeful and criminal election interference.
Fox's Brooks Singman, more than 4,000 of the 25,000 UIW workers on strike are at the Wentzville General Motors Assembly plant in Missouri.
I didn't really know much to expect with the strike, and I didn't think it would last this long.
Union member Daniel Clem. Striking workers receiving $500 a week from the union as the strike continues. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. 5 people, including 2 children, died after Friday night's anhydrous ammonia leak in Teotopolis. The children, 1 adult, were part of the same family. They're from the area. The other 2 are from out of state. Another 5 were airlifted to regional hospitals. That truck carrying about 7,500 gallons of anhydrous ammonia at the time of the accident. Well, this year, Illinois fall trout season opening up on October 21st at ponds, lakes, and streams throughout the state. The early catch and release will be stocked later than expected because of forecasted and observed warm water temps. Illinois Department of Natural Resources will stock the early
Logan, everyone, let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana and vicinity. First half of the week feeling like mid to late summertime. The end portion of the week feeling a little more like mid to late October, but this too shall pass with another turnaround in temperatures and a big warm-up slated for next week. And a warm-up underway for the day today with a mostly sunny sky, southeast wind on the light side, the high around 87 degrees, almost 10 above average. Clear tonight, mild, overnight lows either side of 60. For the day tomorrow, mostly sunny, very warm with a summer-like high of 88 degrees and a southeast to south wind. Clouds gather, lows in the 60s for tomorrow night. Sun and clouds for the day on Wednesday. South breezes at a high of 85. Shower activity for the day on Thursday. Much cooler at 73. Cooler still for the day on Friday. Partly sunny skies. A couple of sprinkles for the afternoon up to 64. Only 57 on Saturday. Highs back into the low to mid 60s for Sunday and Monday. Overnight readings in the upper 30s to mid 40s. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
When you've got an emergency, call Dogtown Heating and Air. Whether it's HVAC repair, plumbing repair, or choosing a new system for your home, Dogtown is here for you. They're an independently owned Lennox dealer and they offer financing and repair for all makes and models. They also offer a maintenance program to protect and prolong the life of your equipment. Open 24/7 for your needs. Call Dogtown Heating and Air at 217-841-4728. That's 841-4728. Online at dogtownheatingandair.com.
All right, Monday, October 2. I'm Stevie Jay. There's Diane Ducey, ESPN 93.5. It is 7:34. Well, apparently we're learning some really important things from TikTok. People always try and, go viral?
Right. And, over in China, it is an educational piece. What kind of great things are we learning here in America?
Robbery 101. TikTokers are teaching people how to steal and shoplift.
Okay.
Gene McGuire, an expert on crime and redemption, served nearly 35 years in prison for a murder he did not commit. Is that right, Gene?
Yes, sir.
Wow. Author of the book Unshackled. And so you go around talking about this. Can you tell me what happened to you?
I was real quickly. I was a 17-year-old, went out drinking with an older cousin. Parents said, can't go out. About 20 minutes at this bar, shooting pool and drinking. At midnight, my cousin decides he's going to rob the bar, and in the process, he murders the owner. So I ended up with a life sentence in Pennsylvania, and it wouldn't be for almost 34 years before they realized I'd been sentenced illegally, and an attorney lied to me. So I was released, and from there I moved to Texas and living life down here in Fort Worth, Texas.
Wow, that's just unfathomable. What happened to your cousin?
He's still incarcerated with a life sentence. He's been a troubled guy his whole entire time with violence, and just he's a mess.
You were in the wrong place at the wrong time, Gene, right?
Yes. Yeah, just made some wrong choices and decisions. My parents said, don't go out, and I manipulated my way out the door, and so, I've learned to be accountable for my behavior throughout the years of being incarcerated. Learned some good lessons, hard lessons, but good lessons.
Well, life sure has changed with social media. I mean, I just cannot believe. I mean, I've been getting these Facebook posts from essentially pornographic stuff. I figured out how to block the person. Well, what in the world? How's that allowed? There's no filters. So why is TikTok allowed to teach me how to shoplift? Teach me how to rob?
I know. There's a changing more and more of our culture. We're changing definitions of words. We've seen that in the politics. We're seeing it now with this so-called hashtag borrow, and they're justifying robbing, thief. Being a thief. We just can't tolerate that. I don't care. It's a character issue, in my opinion, and people have to be held accountable. Those who are on TikTok, as much as we can delete them, stop it, whatever it takes. But there has to be accountability, and we have to hold fast to the fact that shoplifting is wrong. It's crime, and it's called theft. It's stealing.
I don't know what it is, Gene, that makes us fascinated and then gives this kind of thing momentum that we want to click on these, examples and see the raids that are happening and all the businesses that are, getting shoplifting galore and they're breaking the windows, they've got the masks on. What is it that the human nature is fascinated? And then like I said, it's snowballing on us because we're clicking on it.
Yeah, and that's true. We're finding some kind of chemical release in our bodies that we enjoy the violence, just the wrong behavior of people, the violence in the streets, the fighting, all the chaos and confusion that's going on. We seem to crave it more and more.
Well, again, we are in troubled times, Gene. There's no doubt about it. By the way, being incarcerated for 35 years when you shouldn't have been, do you get compensation for stuff like that? What happened to you?
No, I had no idea until afterwards, but I opened myself up to whatever sentence when I was able to get back into court, and it was a miracle that I was able to get back into court because my original attorney never wanted to appeal the case. So I lost all my appellate rights until 2010 when there's that new juvenile case before the Supreme Court, Graham versus Florida, that said that juveniles who did not kill, intend to kill, or did not know should not be subject to life without parole, and that fit my case. And it opened the door for me to go back in. And once they heard my case, the judge, like I said, I had nothing promised, and I wasn't sure, what was going on as far as what could happen other than I knew that my life sentence was unconstitutional, but I was still involved there at the bar when my cousin said he was going to rob the bar. I should have said no. I should have went home, but I didn't. I stuck around. So.
Well, you were 17, right? I mean,
yes, I was a juvenile.
It's called being in the wrong crowd, and many of us have done that over our lives. There's no doubt about that. And yet, you have. So, where was your family? Where were other attorneys? You couldn't. I mean, you were a kid, I know, but over time, was there nobody saying, "Wait a minute, this isn't right"?
No, you know what, and that's true. Without counsel, without good parental involvement, I was never beat. I was never abused. I was fed. My clothes were clean. I went to school. I was an athlete. But as far as any family structure, that was totally absent. And I think that's one of the ways that we have to get back to the family holding people accountable and holding, these kids accountable with the state and the victims they're stealing from. There's no way of getting around that, and we just can't tolerate it. But obviously, when the parents are out stealing and teaching kids how to steal, we have some serious problems.
Dr. Robert Jeffries wrote a piece over the weekend about how America gets back on track, and I'm going, oh boy, this ought to be interesting. He said, follow the 10 Commandments.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's pretty easy, right and wrong.
I don't think that's complicated. I mean, they're pretty basic.
Love others.
We can pretty much. Kind of important to not steal and wow.
Yeah, one of the things we did while I was in prison, we promoted a victim reconciliation program, which holds me, the offender, accountable to the victim as much as possible, and we've seen it work in small cases and also cases like murder, where the person who actually committed the murder sat down, with the permission. It was all paved way with people, prayer and talk and conversation, counseling, and the victims come in to the prison and they listen to the offender apologize. It doesn't mean that they have to accept the apology, but there was accountability. And I think even with stealing, that person is accountable to the state through the judicial system and the courts, but it also has to be accountable. I think there's something about that when you have to say, hey, I'm sorry for stealing from you, not just the store, but from somebody, because that property belongs to somebody.
Yeah, right. No, that's exactly right. Gene, how can people find Gene McGuire?
GeneMcGuire.org, O-R-G. My website's out there, and if you're ever in Fort Worth, Texas, I would love to meet you.
Well, and I know you must go out and speak and talk about Unshackled.
I do.
Is Unshackled available at Amazon or something?
It's on Amazon. It's also at my website, GeneMcGuire.org.
Well, God bless you.
Okay.
A lot of lost years there, Gene.
Oh, man, I so appreciate that. And we're going to stay the course, and we're not going to tolerate it. And we'll teach young kids how wrong it is to shoplift.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your story. Appreciate having you on today, Gene.
Yeah, you bet. You have a great day.
You as well. Gene McGuire's his name. Wow.
Yeah, showing the young kids that this is the wrong way, sure, but getting their attention and keeping it and somehow, being that mentor to show them from example that there's a different path. I was praying about, should we direct some of these young people to get involved in the military or something to try to get them off this path?
Well, they definitely need something, right? I mean,
yeah.
you got to have some guidance, and we talk about it a lot about, how does a kid know how to behave if he didn't have anything at home to tell him?
Right.
To help him, to guide him.
And we have so many organizations and resources in town here at Stevie Jay Broadcasting. Here we talked with Tracy Dace with Dream, and we, the Don Moyer Boys and Girls Club, the various YMCAs around town, scouting. I mean, there's so many opportunities, but you have to have a parent or somebody to get them to these meetings.
He had parents that say, don't go out. And he did anyway.
Yep.
So
you're right.
There are things that we,
kids are going to be kids.
They're going to be kids, and then if you're with a bad dude, then that could be bad.
Right.
All right. Let's jump to our morning sports. Then we'll take a break, get some weather, and I shall read you the 10 Commandments in case you forgot.
Oh, good.
Here we go with sports headlines.
St. Louis Cardinals win over the Cincinnati Reds. That's a nice way to wrap up the season. I know Adam Wainwright was honored, so there's great video of that. If you want to try to get, a highlight or two of the season, that's probably one. He finished up, 200 and 128 or something. So getting to that 200th win was probably the Cardinals' highlight of the season. And the moment when Yadier Molina came up and Albert Pujols was at the celebration at Busch. Pretty cool stuff. And locally, we had Parkland College at Busch yesterday, taking on SWIC, Southwestern Illinois College, in Busch Stadium yesterday around 5. So that was a cool experience for our Cobras. Milwaukee came out on top over the Cubs 4-0. So the Cubs were eliminated, I think, Saturday because Miami kept winning, right?
Yeah, they just a couple of combinations. They, lost a lot of games late. They had 7 games here in the last month where they were ahead in the 7th inning or later and lost them all. So you got to get a little relief pitching in there. They played a really brutal finish against 2 playoff teams, one maybe the best team in baseball with Atlanta. So it was a combination, but the Cubs sure did a lot more than people thought.
We having the Cubs over on US 105.9 and Pat Hughes, now a Hall of Famer, and saying 28 years with the Cubs, and, we were hopeful, but then they just kind of petered out on us. Obviously, he didn't word it like that.
Yep, didn't work, but they're sure a lot closer than their arch rivals.
So Milwaukee and Arizona in a best-of-3 series that'll start up tomorrow. San Diego over the Chicago White Sox. That final was 2-1. And Illinois volleyball winning. They're 7-7 over in the season and 2-2 in the Big Ten after beating Iowa yesterday. So next up will be Purdue Wednesday at 5. Purdue beat our football team 44-19 on Saturday. Next up will be Nebraska. It's a Friday night game at 7 o'clock, and we've got tickets here at Stevie Jay Broadcasting in case you want to text in Illini to 359-2255 and see all the excitement in Memorial Stadium. I love the night games and the intros with the smoke and the fireworks. Of course, I'm all about the atmosphere and all the stuff that's going on and the marching Illini and all that. So we had Chicago Bears beat by Denver 31-28 after the Bears had a 28-7 lead. So as far as the streaks for losses for the Bears, it's at 14, home losses at 9. Sorry. Kansas City over the New York Jets 23-20. The big headline was Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift.
No, they didn't show as much of Taylor last night.
She could have been a little more discreet. I don't know, but the ratings are up for the NFL.
Well,
and the highest.
I think they got word saying, "Listen, the football fan doesn't care about that." But so they did not show her more than 3 times last night.
I see.
It was not like the first time.
Right.
But they showed her, paparazzi got her getting on the Kansas City plane with Travis Kelce.
I see.
So it's a thing.
Well, and the girls want to go to the games now with Dad and see if they have a sighting.
Oh, boy.
So that's a thing. Boy, I know from DJing a few times over the weekend, which is why I'm a little hoarse today, sorry, that Taylor Swift is hot right now. All I have to do is pay a Taylor Swift song and you'll have the dance floor.
Is she the most recognized human on earth?
I don't
think
know. So. It's pretty hot now.
I'd say Donald Trump might be the most recognizable.
You're right.
But Taylor Swift is a just level of celebrity for a pop singer is off the chart.
Well, and thank goodness she's wholesome and anyway, all good.
Well, as it goes, yeah, I don't know her.
Right.
But I know she has an amazing amount of fans, and they're loyal.
That's right.
They are really, really loyal. All right, ESPN 93.5, check your weather, brought to you this morning by Carl.
And Carl reminds you they're always looking to increase the team. I know we're in a new month of October, so I got to figure out what this month means, Stevie. But if you want to join the team and there's opportunities for growth, visit carl.org/careers.
I'm sure they're hiring. Everybody is.
Yes, that's right.
To get it, if you fall over at Carl, you're in the right spot.
That's right.
So there's that.
All good.
Officer, law enforcement, official of the month coming up in 15 minutes. AJ Martin's going to be our star today.
Yeah.
Stand by.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana vicinity. Boy, it's a real roller coaster ride of temperatures over the next 10 to 15 days. Summer-like for the next couple. Autumn-like, definitely so. And mid to late October feel for the end part of the week, early on into the weekend. Next week, and probably beyond, another big warm-up in sight, but nothing in the way of any major or significant rainfall expected with outdoor work and harvest-related activities in mind. Mostly sunny for the day today. Southeast wind, the high around 87. Clear tonight. Mild lows either side of 60. Mostly sunny, very warm for the day tomorrow, the high around 88. 10 above average there with a southeast to south wind. Clouds increase, lows to the 60s for tomorrow night. Partly sunny, continued warm for the day on Wednesday. Highs up to 85 degrees. Couple of rounds of shower activity for the day Thursday. Cooler at 73. Cool day on Friday. Couple of afternoon sprinkles at 64. Nights in the upper 30s to mid 40s. Weekend highs 57 on Saturday, 61 Sunday, into the mid to upper 60s early next week. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
And excited to welcome the Eink family to our broadcasting company. We love Fred's.
I'm Justin Eink, co-owner of Fred's Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, Electric, and Underground.
So, Justin, tell me what you see as typical when it comes to sewer repair. Give me a scenario.
Your sewer's backed up and somebody comes along and says, you need this repair for X amount of dollars. Here's my price. And you don't think to go looking for another company or a second opinion because you don't feel like you have time.
So is it possible that you might get charged a little more because it's kind of a desperate moment? Do some companies do that?
Oh, absolutely they will. They know you're in a pinch. Typically, if you call us, me or Will can be out there within an hour to look at that problem for you. Whether you call me first or you call me second, make sure you give me a call.
Anything else, Justin?
You can always trust Fred's.
Great to know. Thank you. That's Justin Eink, the co-owner of Fred's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, Electric, and Underground. If you want more information about this great 45-year family-owned company, just go to fredscu.com. That's fredscu.com. And I had Uncle Joe come out and put in a fan because they do electric too.
Okay, good.
And I got a countertop for the half bath. I need that. So I can wrestle with it on YouTube for 3.5 hours. You could set it in about 30 minutes. So.
Right.
Anyway, it's good to have a guy.
Yeah.
So welcome, Fred.
And they do practically everything.
Yeah.
FredCU.com if you want to explore some options.
Okay, so number one on the 10 Commandments. And, sometime in my life I knew these by heart.
Me too.
I think.
I think 3rd or 4th grade.
Maybe somewhere
and
there.
We even made a booklet in religion class as at St. Pat's in Tolono.
Now, number one is thou shalt have no other gods before me. Mm-hmm. God wants what is best for you. Now, it doesn't have to be like a gold image. It can be money.
Yeah.
It can be other things.
Addiction, gambling.
All your priorities.
Any kind of addiction.
So God should be number one.
Mm-hmm.
If it does, your problems get less for sure.
Yeah.
Number two, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image. Anything you worship more than God, can be money again.
Yep.
Other people. Or
addiction.
Number three, thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. You don't say bad words with his name. Number four, remember the Sabbath, keep it holy. Sunday or the Sabbath day is a day we can all go to church, worship God, learn how to be better people and Christians. Number five, honor thy father and thy mother. And you're going, well, I didn't have a very good father and mother, right? It's important to show our parents respect.
Yeah.
Number six, thou shalt not kill, interpreted as murder, It speaks for itself. Thou shalt not commit adultery. You don't mess around if you promise not to.
That's right.
Thou shalt not steal. Kind of a big one. Important that to God that his children are honest with integrity. Number 9, thou shalt not bear false witness. You don't frame anybody. You don't lie about somebody else. And number 10, thou shalt not covet, so you don't be jealous about things other people have.
I want that car.
It doesn't. Those things, amazingly, somehow we hear it.
Yep.
Well, I'd like those kind of problems, right? You have no idea.
That's right.
Everybody's struggling. No matter the richest person you know probably is empty. Very good chance.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they're not. You hope they're not, because money is not an evil thing. It's the love of money that can make it evil. But just having it gives you opportunity to do great things for other people. So in any event, those are pretty basic. If we just followed the 10 commandments.
Thanks for the review, Stevie.
Start basic. That you can't go into a store and steal $999 because nobody will prosecute you in Los Angeles.
Right.
You just don't do it
That
because it
doesn't make it right.
happens to be wrong. And there is right and wrong. And we muddy the waters thinking, well, it's their situation. It's not fair.
Right.
You're a bigot, racist.
And the entitlement
whatever.
thing of, I've been put down so hard that I kind of deserve to steal.
No, there is no excuse.
Mine.
The more you fade the lines, the more you say, well, there's certainly right and wrong, good and evil in this world if you haven't figured that out. And so you got to be alert and aware of that. And then you say, well, I'm imperfect. I mess up every day. Okay. That's where there's a God that can be there for you and help you guys. Because the closer you are to God, the better it's going to be for you and this country.
Mm-hmm.
I've said it for 20 years. Further we move away, the worse it's going to get. And God, by golly, seems to be right. We're going to celebrate law enforcement because we do that here.
And the Powerball is at $1.04 billion tonight.
1.04. How much
Probably a bad time to bring this up since we're, trying to go against greed and all that.
Well, I mean, if you get money,
sure,
you can help
do a lot of
Mother
great things.
Teresa's things she started.
Absolutely,
you can do things. You can build Christian youth camps or something for boy. He does look like his parents. AJ Martin is in the house.
That's
Stand by.
right. This will be
is that
great.
open?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like he can hear us.
Yeah, he was just pointing.
Okay.
Yeah, he said, "Where do I go?" All right, stand by. Law Enforcement Official Month coming up next.
So when was the last time you saw a best deal guarantee?
You mean a promise that actually held up?
Right.
That some unknown online entity didn't want you to log in and download a code and then re-verify as you join some club.
Drives you nuts, I know.
And then once you purchase that set of steak knives...
Well, Dick Van Dyke Appliance World is a lot simpler. You find a verified great deal and they beat it. Just show them the deal you saw. A newspaper clipping or the online cart price will do, and then you're good.
At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, it's one of those instances where you see a best deal guarantee and...
you get the best deal.
This is Dennis Rieken, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. Our exclusive 10-year protection plan comes free with most appliance purchases. Whether it's a GE, Whirlpool, Frigidaire, Bosch, or any of our 30 brands, I guarantee we will beat any competitor's deal. Wow!
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
Join Urbana Park District for Climate Action Week, October 1st through 8th. We all can help take care of the environment. Be sure to join us at Crystal Lake Park Saturday, October 7th from 1 to 4 p.m. for a celebration of the environment that will feature live music, guided hikes, and more in partnership with the Champaign County Climate Coalition. Call 217-384-4062 for more information or follow the Park District on Facebook and Twitter.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
During challenging times, family and health come first. This is Rob Meyer with Provident Financial Group. Many of us have spent the past year feeling a little bit out of control, but there are steps that you can take to plan for a better financial future. Now is the time to take action and create a financial plan that's right for you. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA, SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Let Max Twin City Recycling pay you for your junk metal items. As the weather begins to heat up, now is a great time to put cash in your pocket for the steel, copper, brass, and aluminum items you've been meaning to get rid of. We've recently added a large concrete pad to make unloading quicker and cleaner for our customers. Visit us on North Lincoln Avenue, just north of I-74, or at maxrecycling.com.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. It's time to come home to Carpet Weavers. We don't want you to just like your new floors. We want you to love them. From waterproof floors and carpet to furnitures and design advice, we've got a team of experts on your side. We'll get you the best price and the best quality products. And complete your home with furniture and accessories. Buy it all with free financing too. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
Welcome to Sarah Champagne, where your dream car awaits. With an exquisite selection of top-tier vehicles, impeccable service, and unbeatable prices, they are your ultimate destination for automotive excellence. Experience luxury, performance, and style like never before. Visit today and drive home in the vehicle you've always desired. Sarah Champagne, Honda, BMW, Subaru, GMC, and Buick. Your journey towards automotive perfection starts here. Visit them at Sarah, S-C-R-R-A, champagne.com.
Hey, where are you headed?
To Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola.
What do they have there?
What don't they have there? Living room furniture, benches, chests, love seats, sectionals, tables, bedroom sets, hutches, nightstands, end tables, cabinets, mirrors, stools, clocks, lamps, pillows, rugs, desks, media consoles, patio furniture, Tempur-Pedic mattresses, and more.
So, everything.
Yeah, probably could have just said that.
Kelsey Furniture, quality for less. You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
He will survive. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what House Speaker Kevin McCarthy predicts as some of his fellow Republicans push to remove him from that job this week. But McCarthy just told Fox,
"Don't judge the GOP by Matt Gaetz."
He says the congressman has a personal vendetta against him, but Gaetz says it was McCarthy using Democrats to pass a short-term funding bill Saturday to avert a government shutdown Sunday, as the bill had no spending cuts the conservatives wanted. And Gaetz told ABC's This Week,
"I don't think the adults in the room would allow America to sit atop a $33 trillion debt facing $2.2 trillion annual deficits."
Former President Trump will go to court today in New York, not in one of his 4 criminal cases, for a civil trial, after a judge already ruled that he and the Trump Organization committed fraud. The state's Democratic Attorney General Letitia James wants a $250 million penalty, saying in a statement this morning Donald Trump falsely inflated his net worth to enrich himself and cheat the system, and the rule of law must equally apply to everyone. Now, the former president on social media called for James and the judge to resign, saying this is election interference, after telling supporters at a rally in Iowa Sunday,
"They want to silence me because I will never let them silence you. And in the end, they're not after me, they're after you, but I just happen to be standing in their way, and I will always be in their way."
Now that it's October, millions of Americans with federal student loans have to make payments again after a 3-year COVID pause, as the Biden administration tries again to help some.
The Biden administration is planning to focus on 5 groups for new debt relief. They include those whose debt balance is higher than what they originally owed and those struggling with financial problems.
As Fox's Ryan Schmelz, 2 scientists at the University of Pennsylvania are sharing the Nobel Prize for Medicine for their work battling COVID. Catalin Carrico and Drew Weissman helped develop mRNA technology used to make COVID vaccines. America's listening to Fox News.
Jesse Kelly here. Do you feel protected? My personal protection plan is owning gold. The Oxford Gold Group helps you buy gold to have on hand or convert it into your 401k. If things get weird, I have gold on hand. I like that. You can buy coins or convert part of your 401k with the Oxford Gold Group. It's easy and safe. 833-995-GOLD. That's 833-995-GOLD. 833-995-GOLD.
Identity theft shows no signs of slowing down. In fact, more than $29 billion were stolen last year alone. That's a criminal success story and a wake-up call for everyone else. It can be dangerously easy to steal your identity. LifeLock makes it easy to help protect yourself if you become a victim. A dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. Join now and save up to 25% your first year with my name, Clay, as your promo code at LifeLock.com, promo code Clay.
Now, when Congress passed the 45-day government funding bill to avert a shutdown over the weekend, they left a military aid for Ukraine out. Many Democrats are pushing that. They also left out border security measures Republicans demand. GOP Senator Lindsey Graham tells CBS Face the Nation we need both in one bill.
To those who say we need to fix our border, you're right. To those who say we need to help Ukraine, you're right. To those who say we need to do the border, not Ukraine, you're wrong.
Our ally Britain is considering taking aid to Ukraine to fend off Russia's invasion even further.
In a Sunday newspaper interview, UK Defence Secretary Grant Shapps said he wanted to deploy military instructors to Ukraine itself. That would be a significant advance on the current arrangement whereby 20,000 Ukrainian troops have been trained here in the United Kingdom. But Prime Minister Rishi Sunak quickly poured cold water on the plan. That's something for the long term, he told reporters, not the here and now. Russia responded to the idea with a warning that any British soldiers in Ukraine would be considered legitimate targets. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
For the 18th day, auto workers are on strike at dozens of Ford, GM, and Stellantis facilities. The UAW did work out a tentative new deal with Mack Trucks last night to avoid a walkout there. Talks resumed today, trying to resolve the Screen Actors Guild strike after the writers' strike with similar demands ended with a tentative new deal. On Wall Street, stock futures are down, coming off the worst month of the year. On Sunday Night Football,
halfway through the fourth, Wilson lost it on that snap, and was that recovered by Wharton inside? Yes.
That Zach Wilson fumble derailed a Jets comeback. Kansas City beat New York 23-20 on NBC. Buffalo blew out Miami by 28 points, giving the Dolphins their first loss. So the 49ers and Eagles remain the only unbeaten teams in the NFL. Philadelphia beat Washington in overtime. San Francisco topped Arizona. Denver and Minnesota won their first games of the NFL season. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Well, 5 people, including 2 children, died after Friday night's anhydrous ammonia leak in Teotopolis. Those children and 1 adult part of the same family. And they're from the area. The other 2 from out of state. Another 5 were airlifted to regional hospitals. Eastern Illinois University suspending the men's swim team from competing this fall. The suspension follows the disclosure to the team's head coach of credible reports of hazing. The university and intercollegiate athletics immediately launched a formal investigation, and individual roster eligibility will be determined after the review is complete. The Illinois State Fire Marshal's Office and Illinois Department of Labor inspecting haunted houses across the state to ensure they're safe. Haunted houses in Illinois required to be inspected prior to operation, though haunted houses operated by nonprofits or charitable organizations can apply for an exemption from the IDOL. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Well, nice warm skies here as we welcome in October. It is October 2nd. ESPN 93.5 with our weather brought to you by the Urbana Park District.
Climate Action Week has begun yesterday. Today at 6 o'clock, you can get in on the Bat Walk. There's all kinds of different items to do every day. I think it's interesting that they'll have a solar power hour coming up on Thursday. We can learn about stewardship work days, October 4th on Wednesday. Learn more at urbanaparks.org.
Our meteorologist is Greg Solier. Sir, good October to you. And how are we looking?
Yeah, good. Yeah, well, good morning to you guys on anything but an October look and feel, especially the feel of it with record-setting heat lurking back to the west of us and some spots maybe to the west and south immediately. So Champaign-Urbana the next couple of days could be up and around that 90-degree mark, 96 at Fargo, North Dakota yesterday. So that's a fair amount of midsummer-like heat in these early days of October. We'll balance the books in the other direction with a little cooler than average weather pattern later this weekend, early on into the weekend, and go right back in the other direction. So it's a real roller coaster ride, as you would expect for October through the middle stretch of the month. Nothing really out of control or excessive in the moisture department, so no need to rush it, panic, push it with fall work, outdoor work, backyard work, and harvest operations in particular. Nice morning out there, to say the least. It's 62 already at Willard and Savoy, 59 Rantoul, 57 at Danville, 64 up at Peoria. Ought to be in the upper 40s at this point for a October 2nd. And a high temperature for the day-to-day is more or less as it ought to be for August around here at 87, with a mostly sunny sky, bit of a southeast to south wind, clear, mild tonight, low to either side of 60. For the day tomorrow, the warmth continues on, the high around 88, probably a 90, just lurking southwest of Champaign County, with sunshine and a increasing south wind. Partly sunny, still warm, 85 for the day on Wednesday. Cold front and a couple of disturbances along it will increase some shower activity over Thursday. A couple of sprinkles Friday afternoon. It should be about a quarter inch, we think, right now. Nothing out of control with field work in mind. It's 73 on Thursday. That's more seasonal for the time of year. Here comes the cool stuff for Friday and into the weekend at 64 for the high on Friday, just 57 the high temperature on Saturday. We'll be down in the upper 30s here probably Sunday morning, then recover back into the 60s Sunday and Monday, and another big warm-up gets going in the middle and late portions of next week. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Greg Solgay.
Happy to welcome our law enforcement official of the month. His name is AJ Martin. AJ, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
University of Illinois Police Department, one of their finest.
Definitely.
Eagle Scout, man. You're an Eagle Scout.
I'll let you guys say that.
Yeah. No, he's one of the finest guys we've got.
13th point of the Scout Law is humble, so I do my best on that.
There you go.
All right, AJ Martin, tell me why you wanted to be in law enforcement. What happened?
Well, growing up, I did the sports. I did Central football. Went and did all the school stuff every kid ever does. Tried everything. Tried Scouts. That seemed to be the niche I fit into.
What was it about Scouts?
Well, early on in Cub Scouting, it was learning the 12 points of the Scout Law, being trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. It's all things I say every Monday.
I just read the 10 Commandments. That all fits pretty well in
Goodness,
there. Goodness, right?
It's a structure for life. If you can hit a majority of those, or even some of those on any given day, you're doing something right. So learning that and basing myself on those values really just kind of got me in a mindset for public service. And as I tell people, when I went to college, I was too middle class to afford to go to law school, but I was too smart to put myself in harm's way and join the military. So I kind of hit the middle ground there and went to law enforcement.
Could have been firefighter or something.
Yeah, in hindsight,
How many years have you been at the U of I?
I've been at U of I for 12 years. I was down in Eastern Illinois for 3 years.
And what do you want your son to know about what you do? And
I want him to know nothing about what I do. I want him to go out there, be a lawyer, be a firefighter, make some money, have some fun. There's good days and bad days, but I just want him to know that everything I do in this job is just a means to an end. When I interviewed for U of I, they asked me how do I compare myself as an officer. I said, frankly, I don't. If my headstone reads Officer Martin, I would have failed in life. I want to read husband, father, and son more than anything else in this world.
Mm-hmm. That's impressive.
Like
it is, because you have good values and you have a foundation.
I try.
And you've got your son in Scouts as well.
Yep, sure do.
Is he going to be an Eagle Scout someday?
That's up to him. That's the goal, though.
Mm-hmm.
And you were an Eagle Scout. So,
still am.
A big, ceremony honoring Josh Whitman today at
There
Memorial
is.
Stadium.
October 2nd is today. That snuck up on me.
Yeah.
Colonnades tonight.
Colonnades tonight. We'll have some Scouts from Troop 1, which celebrated its 100th year last year.
Nice.
Troop 2119 out of, I think they're out of Champaign or Savoy. That's one of our female troops. It's very active. Matter of fact, one of their members, Allison Hemming, just was elected to the section vice chief. It's Order of the Arrow, which is like the National Honor Society for Scouting. So she's now the vice chief for kind of the Illinois-Missouri region for Order of the Arrow.
Okay.
What do you want people to know about what you do?
So what I do on a daily basis is not what everyone thinks they see on TV. A lot of doing police work is car chases and explosions and foot pursuits and taking people to jail. It's really just a lot of little corrections here and there. I think of it like when they pilot the space shuttle up in space, they don't do huge broad stroke corrections or they would wind up orbiting Mars instead of Earth.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of little corrections here and there, getting people to understand that we're not here to punish people or take people to jail. That's just sometimes a means to end. What we really just want is voluntary compliance with the laws.
Yeah, if you follow the law, stay out of trouble, be respectful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Things you've learned a little bit along your way.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's on the University of Illinois campus where you work, you've got a lot of diversity. There's 140 different nations, I think, represented here.
Yep.
And language ever a barrier?
It can be. There's, thanks to cell phones, I don't know what I would do as a cop in the 80s if we had this kind of diversity back then. Without having Google Translate, I would be hosed.
To show me how to work that.
That's right. That sounds great.
It's pretty handy having officers that speak the languages. We got a couple officers that speak Mandarin. With our higher national population from China, that really makes a big impact.
Yeah, but isn't ultimately A.J. Martin, our law enforcement official among the U of I police, keep people safe?
Oh, absolutely. And I tell people all the time, I would love to be able to be in everybody's back pocket and help keep everybody safe. That's just not in the cards. U of I has 40-something thousand students, another 10,000 or so employees, and you'll have 6. Today we've got 8 police officers working. It's 8 versus 50,000 on campus. You have to do something to keep yourself safe. Don't be a victim. Be smart. put yourself in safe situations that are winnable, so that you don't find yourself having to call us. The best crime is one that doesn't happen. So the less they have to call us, the better.
Binge drinking still a thing?
Oh yeah.
So and binge drinking means drink till what, you pass out?
It's whatever their tolerances allow. Drink till you pass out. Just drink a lot. Go for endurance.
Don't get it.
I don't. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm almost 40, so I don't get it anymore either.
Okay.
When I was in college, it's one of those I don't think anyone starts out planning on going binge drinking. But I think it's as their inhibitions go down, then they start thinking, I can do this all day. Sure.
But it's such an awful experience if you get really drunk. I mean, then you feel it for days. You throw up and all these things.
And
Don't
you make
remember
bad
anything.
choices.
Bad
Yeah.
choices. Really
Yeah.
bad choices, right?
Exactly. And one of the things that help people with making better choices is I was always concerned about students drinking too much and then needing medical help. They don't get it.
Mhm.
A number of years ago, they put in the amnesty law where if you're calling to get somebody help for a friend because of them, they have drank too much, they won't get in trouble for minor possession of alcohol. You won't get in trouble for minor possession consumption because you called for them. The important thing is they get the help they need. Now, if you show up there and you start picking a fight with the cops, then that goes out the window. We can still arrest for that if we need to, but
Okay.
that's never come up.
AJ, I wonder how many incidents there would be with a police officer if people complied with what you're asking.
Yeah, most of the time, what we're trying to do is reasonable, and it's grounded in the law and
Yeah.
grounded in the Fourth Amendment and all those types of things.
You like body cams?
I love body cameras. At first, I was a little reticent to them, just because I don't like being watched all the time. But when I wrap my mind around the fact that I'm being watched all
Protects
the time,
you,
anyways, yeah,
but it protects you.
Yes,
and
I've-
your actions.
Yeah, I've had my body camera bail me out more than it's hurt me.
Any other Eagle Scouts on the department?
So that's a fun fact. I need to get a picture at the next football game. I think we've got 7 or 8 Eagle Scouts.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's an awesome foundation for the
That's
University of
very good.
Illinois Police Force.
It is.
What about the phones around campus? That's certainly been a help, right?
It's a help and it's a hindrance. It's a help in that when people go out there, they can call us immediately. You're talking about cell phones, right, Dan?
Oh, I
Or
was
is that-
thinking about
the emergency phones.
the blue phones with the little.
So they're growing in assistance because before they were just a phone, but now everyone's got a phone. But now because they have phone lines in them, we can hook up cameras to them.
Huh.
So more and more of those emergency phones you're seeing start turning into, they get taller. They got that little camera on top. That camera has 4 cameras in it. It can show 360 around that phone.
Hmm.
So it gets us to be able to spot things better on campus for an investigative tool. Now we don't have somebody sitting in a large room like this with cameras
Mhm.
TVs all over the wall looking at every single camera on campus. No, that'd be a little bit too George Orwell for me, but there's people that can go back and look at the cameras and find suspects. If we get a call in an area, we can see what's going on real time from an outside bird's eye view for some instances. It really helps out.
AJ Martin, he's our law enforcement official of the month. You got great parents. You chose your parents well. AJ, Tony, your dad, who taught my triplets how to drive, M&M drivers. And then Gay Martin, we know from Channel 3 years ago. Now she's at Carl.
Yep, sure is.
Awesome. And your wife is working for the Geese College of Business.
Couldn't be prouder of her. She planned their career fair for a long time, and now she's a career advisor. So
And a fact is AJ Martin played football at Central High School and allowed Jay Lehman to be on your team.
Yeah.
You know,
it was AJ Martin's team.
I wanted to be the starting linebacker, but I was like, Jay's a really good guy. He works hard. I think I should just, cede a little bit of control to him.
Because you could have been the starting linebacker for
Well,
sure.
I'm a humble guy. I took my talents where they were needed, and I was a long snapper. 'Cause after we lost to Centennial the year before, 20-2, because of a snap that went over the punter's head, I was like, you know what? It's time for me to step up and just focus on being a long snapper. And it worked out because Greg McMahon, his son Drew, was our running back. He called down to Eastern, talked to Coach Spoo, and said, "Hey, you need a long snapper?" He said, "Yeah, we do."
Nice.
You played football at Eastern.
I played 1 year at Eastern.
Go Panthers.
Yeah, that's when I found out that the student athlete was a misnomer for me. I did not do well academically that first year.
That's pretty hard to balance all that.
It's extremely hard. I give a lot of credit to the athletes. That's why I try to help them out and kind of give them a bit more grace every now and then because they are under a microscope and they work so hard. And this is kind of a plug for Barry Hauser. I watched the marching band this summer. They don't do 1 a days like most of the sports. They do 3 a day. They wake up, have breakfast, march. Go to lunch, go back, march. Have dinner, go back, march. Those kids work hard.
He told us they accept 400 people and they
Yeah.
turn away 800.
That's insane.
Try out.
Isn't that crazy?
That's nuts.
That's nuts.
So
AJ
go Illini. It must
Yeah.
be fun and great energy. You have great coworkers. And
Oh,
how's
wonderful.
recruitment going?
I think we're the only department in the area, maybe the state, that's fully staffed. I think we've got a spot or 2 open with Chief Carey being done as of about 7 hours ago.
Oh, really? So that was
He's
it.
off to Colorado.
Well, I tell you what, you got Joe McCullough. He's
a good guy.
big time.
Yeah.
Joe, and his son Caleb hit a hole-in-one on a par 4 in golf as a senior at Judah. A hole-in-one on a par. Caleb McCullough, what?
Nice.
That's crazy great.
Well, and I love the therapy dogs that you have on the force.
They're wonderful. We got Mike's out there with Rosie today. I always joke with Mike, and he recognizes himself that everyone's there to see Rosie. He's just the guy on the other side of the leash.
Hey, listen, AJ, we appreciate you. Thank you for what you do.
Well, thank you guys
Stay
for having
safe.
me.
We appreciate what you do, and you're keeping us safe, and thank you for that.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
Law enforcement official of the month is AJ Martin, University of Illinois Police Department. We appreciate what he does and everyone in law enforcement does. Thank you so much. ESPN 93.5, we check our weather with Greg.
Logan, everyone, let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign and and vicinity. First half of the week, feeling like mid to late summertime. The end portion of the week, feeling a little more like mid to late October. But this too shall pass with another turnaround in temperatures and a big warm-up slated for next week. And a warm-up underway for the day today with a mostly sunny sky. Southeast wind on the light side, the high around 87 degrees, almost 10 above average. Clear tonight, mild, overnight lows either side of 60. For the day tomorrow, mostly sunny, very warm with a summer-like high of 88 degrees and a southeast to south wind. Clouds gather, lows in the 60s for tomorrow night. Sun and clouds for the day on Wednesday. South breezes at a high of 85. Shower activity for the day on Thursday. Much cooler at 73. Cooler still for the day on Friday. Partly sunny skies. A couple of sprinkles for the afternoon up to 64. Only 57 on Saturday. Highs back into the low to mid 60s for Sunday and Monday. Overnight readings in the upper 30s to mid 40s. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Thank you, Greg. We appreciate it. Well, before you say yes, you need to talk about money with your future bride, husband, groom. Need to talk about that. And Busey encourages you to do that. Sit down and talk about whether you're going to do same checking account. Are you going to do planning for the future, like your retirement? Mm-hmm. Who talks retirement when you're 25?
I know.
Anyway, Busey's ready and willing. You can sit down. You can talk with somebody there at Busey about all the things that come into it. How's your credit rating? All that stuff ought to be on the table. And you ought to be very open and make sure that you have no secrets and you're not telling them for some reason about something. And they've got it all at Busey: personal, mortgage, business, cash management, wealth management. You can go to Busey.com. You can stop by one of their many locations today and learn more about what they do and how they can help guide you. It's Busey for over 150 years. Busey, member FDIC. Okay, we'll be right back. We've got Fox Business coming up next. It's October 2. What a nice guy, A.J. Martin.
Mm-hmm.
Man, he's comfortable on the radio.
That's right.
Gay Martin was really comfortable on the TV.
That's right. She was terrific.
23 years at Channel 3.
I know.
Back in the day. In the 80s and 90s, I think. Okay, back in a moment with your Fox Business next. From computer systems to brakes and tires too, at PDR, fixing cars is what they do. Remember, when you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481 or use their dedicated text-only line at 383-0619. Additional information including repair quotes and online scheduling requests available from the website at pdrauto.com. Remember, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
The S&P 500 just wrapped up its worst quarterly performance in a year. Investors have been pulling money from stocks and putting it in treasuries to take advantage of higher interest rates. But Apple shares are higher. The company is planning to release a software update to improve overheating issues in the newly released iPhone 15. AMC Entertainment shares are up more than 2%. The movie theater company says it will be releasing the film based on Beyonce's Renaissance World Tour. The UAW and Mack Trucks have a tentative agreement averting a strike that would have happened at midnight. Mack is owned by Volvo Group. The deal covers nearly 4,000 Mack truck workers in Pennsylvania, Maryland, and Florida. The turnaround happened quickly. The union said on Thursday the two sides were still far apart. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
New
from the Fox News Podcast Network.
I'm Emily Campagno, and this is the Fox True Crime Podcast.
And I had nothing to do with her disappearance.
I sit down with the people who lived the nightmares.
I was in shock. I was just devastated.
The investigators who tirelessly worked on the case.
And I really hope that they can catch this guy.
Bringing you closer to the story than you ever thought possible.
Listen and follow now at foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
These are the stories that keep you up at night.
Tapman's Towing, team of experienced tow professionals, is seeking others with CDLs, previous tow experience, and or strong interest in serving others. Please visit our career page at tapmanstowing.com.
Let Max Twin City Recycling pay you for your junk metal items. As the weather begins to heat up, now is a great time to put cash in your pocket for the steel, copper, brass, and aluminum items you've been meaning to get rid of. We've recently added a large concrete pad to make unloading quicker and cleaner for our customers. Visit us on North Lincoln Avenue, just north of I-74, or at maxrecycling.com.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Yeah, obviously we're not protecting our quarterback. I think we can, Luke's going to, get some heat, and there's some things I know he's got to get better. But man, I mean, he's got people bearing down on him, and then in the second half, especially once they saw the issues that we're having in protection, they just kept bringing it. And we gotta look really in detail about what we're asking our guys to do. We're 5 games into it, and I think we know what we are, and if we don't adjust what we call or what we do to give them success, then it's our own fault, right?
If we don't adjust what we call or do, then it's our own fault. Look for Illinois to go short passes.
Okay.
Because we can't protect the quarterback, and he can't sit back there and scramble all the time. That's not what we're trying to do. If you gave Luke Altmaier 5 seconds to pass, you'd like what you'd see.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just easier said than done. So if you can't, then you got to redo it and figure out how number 1 gets the ball even more, how 89, Tip Reisman, I think, needs the ball more. I think you got to see if Kagan Fegan can quit getting 8 yards every carry.
Right.
I mean, what the heck?
I mean, he had 11 carries with 85 yards.
85 yards? Wasn't he the leading rusher for us?
Right.
So, I mean, again, I don't know. He seems to be pretty good, and maybe he's in the game at the point where games are always over and you got maybe second-team defense. I don't know. But I do know that he's 6'3" or 4" and 235 pounds and runs pretty fast.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say at this point, you got to change something up because this isn't working very well. So I'd just change some play calls and maybe pound the ball a little more, see if you can rush some more, eat some clock. And I think we're done dropping back for 5 seconds because we don't get 5 seconds. I counted 2.5. And it just, man.
Yeah.
So, okay. Was Chase Brown so superior making our offensive line look good? Or was our offensive line so good making Chase Brown superior? It might be that Chase was that good. Where I remember watching him carefully and how he would get the ball and kind of wait. And then he was so quick that he could get through whatever opening there was. It might have been his superiority versus how good we were last year.
Well, and for your brain to look and see everything and make a decision and make a good decision. I mean, yeah, Chase had the skills.
Well, he was patient, and usually he gets, go.
Right.
He's like, over here.
Okay.
He slowed the game down. So, I mean, it might be him that he was so darn good that we maybe got these elevated thoughts of what we had.
Right.
And maybe they're not quite as good as we thought because we don't have Chase Brown.
Well, Isaiah Williams with 6 passes and 113 yards.
You just got to feed him as many times as possible because he can break away.
Yeah.
And then you got to try and take advantage when your margin is so slim. And as I mentioned last hour, the West, this is the last time we have divisions. Then it's one big blob of standings. So the West isn't very good, but Illinois is struggling. And so we got to see if we can figure out how to get through a game in a clean way. That means very few penalties and very few turnovers. We had 1 turnover. It was pretty costly. But again, if Luke Altmaier's running for his life, it'd be pretty hard. Anyway, if you want to hear Luke Altmaier, he'll be on after 4 today.
Right.
And we got a bunch of great sponsors.
Yeah,
for
we
that
do.
show.
A Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, your home's best friend. First Federal Savings Bank, local and trusted. Crossroads Contractor Supply. Say hi to Todd, the right tools when you need it. Brian Hansen at State Farm Insurance. Visit brianismyguy.com, and Carpenter's Local 243. So congratulations to everybody who's going to be part of that 4 o'clock hour with Luke Altmaier's show. I was just noting with the Orange and Blue returning to Memorial Stadium and the showdown against Nebraska Friday night at 7, that'll be on FS1 if you're
Fox Sports 1.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and again, Jay Lehman Hour from 3 to 4. That is always energy, action-packed, and super credible because Jay, being on A.J. Martin's team, because A.J. stood down because Jay was a nice kid, because not that A.J. couldn't beat him out. Anyway, Jay Lehman Hour, and it's just fantastic. If you don't watch him on the Big Ten on the weekends.
In fact, I caught him, and I caught him talking about Caleb Griffin and those 2 field goal attempts. One was 53 yards, and I think that was one of his career.
He made it. Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
really
career best.
Yeah,
but Jay's very, very good in studio. Very, very good for Big Ten. Brings energy, knowledge, knows everything about everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Very good job for Jay Lehman. Anyway, he's on our radio today, 3 to 4. Don't miss it. Repeated 5 to 6 if you do have something between 3 and 4. But he's entertaining, and he'll give you what he thinks about Illinois, which is what we want.
And you can hear our local shows anytime at StevieJay.com.
PDR Automotive has now been serving the Champaign-Urbana area for over 50 years. To give you some perspective, 50 years ago ended the U.S. involvement in the Vietnam War, and it was when Secretariat won the Triple Crown. So what does that mean for you and your vehicle? Whether you need a carburetor overhauled or your new vehicle computer system diagnosed or programmed, PDR Automotive has the experienced, knowledgeable staff that can handle all your automotive needs. Online at pdrauto.com. They are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weaver's Flooring and Furniture Gallery. Take a look around your home. Is it finally ready for some much-needed updates? If you don't know where to start, then just meet with one of our experts. We'll help you find the perfect waterproof plank floor for your kitchen or that stain-resistant, super soft carpet for your bedroom. Finish your room update with a custom sofa and chairs, or choose a trendy in-stock dining set that's priced right. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
Hi, this is Kirk Lehman with Aftershock Decals and Design. And right now we are looking for an honest, hardworking individual that wants a career with Aftershock Decals and Design. If you have any kind of experience wrapping vehicles, tinting windows, we want you.
You can't touch this.
No, not that kind of rapper.
Can't touch this.
Please go to our website at aftershockdd.com, click on the Jobs tab, and send in your resume. We want you. aftershockdd.com.
Fox News. I'm Chris Foster. Former President Trump's business fraud civil trial starts today in New York.
He's accused of misleading banks and insurers while also exaggerating his net worth on paperwork when making deals. The high-profile case was brought forward by New York Attorney General Letitia James.
That's Fox's Ryan Schmelz. The judge in the case already ruled the Trump Organization engaged in fraud. Trump on social media calls him and Attorney General James a disgrace. The Nobel Prize in Medicine is shared by 2 scientists whose research helped with the development of mRNA COVID vaccines.
American Dr. Drew Weissman and Hungarian-American colleague Dr. Katalin Kariko will share the Nobel Prize in Medicine for their work at the University of Pennsylvania. The committee says the pair helped combat one of the greatest threats to human health in modern times.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at your morning news. 5 people, including 2 children, died after Friday night's anhydrous ammonia leak in Teotopolis. The children and 1 adult, part of the same family. They're from the area. The 2 other dead are from out of state. Another 5 airlifted to regional hospitals, the truck carrying about 7,500 gallons of anhydrous ammonia at the time. Governor Pritzker defending the state's response to the migrant crisis in Chicago. He said the state spent $328 million to help manage the crisis. His comments come after some Chicago aldermen have accused the state of not helping out enough. The governor called on the federal government to provide additional resources. Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul is amending a lawsuit his office filed in 2018 against Chicago's Trump Tower. Raoul's second amended complaint claims the downtown Chicago property continuing to break environmental laws by significantly underreporting the average daily volume of water it discharges into the Chicago River. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana vicinity. Boy, it's a real roller coaster ride of temperatures over the next 10 to 15 days. Summer-like for the next couple. Autumn-like, definitely so. And mid to late October feel for the end part of the week, early on into the weekend. Next week, and probably beyond, another big warm-up in sight, but nothing in the way of any major or significant rainfall expected with outdoor work and harvest-related activities in mind. Mostly sunny for the day today. Southeast wind, the high around 87. Clear tonight. Mild lows either side of 60. Mostly sunny, very warm for the day tomorrow. The high around 88. 10 above average there with a southeast to south wind. Clouds increase, lows to the 60s for tomorrow night. Partly sunny, continued warm for the day on Wednesday. Highs up to 85 degrees. Couple of rounds of shower activity for the day Thursday. Cooler at 73. Cool day on Friday. Couple of afternoon sprinkles at 64. Nights in the upper 30s to mid 40s. Weekend highs 57 on Saturday. 61 Sunday into the mid to upper 60s early next week. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting Editor-Ologist, Greg Solgan.
So what is Generation Z anyway? I think it's 18 to 34. Are they the hardest generation to work with right now? Is that true?
So Gen Z is what we're talking about?
Gen Z.
It's 10 to 24.
10?
And there's 1.8 billion individuals representing the largest generation of people in history and the latest generation to enter the workforce.
Well, I don't plan on working with a 10-year-old. Why would they put it? I guess that's the block. They got to get them older, I guess. Anyway, an organizational psychologist, author of the book Wrong Fit, Right Fit, Why How We Work Matters More Than Ever. He spent 20 plus years as a chief talent officer for iconic brands such as Mars and Nike and Google. Did you get any free candy bars, Dr. Martin, when you worked there at Mars?
Yeah.
He's up.
I did.
It's in Oregon, Dr. Andre Martin. So talk to me about what happened, and did COVID have anything to do with this?
With Gen Z?
Yep.
Yeah, here's what's happening. I think it's more of the these kids today phenomenon, right? Every generation that enters the workplace causes disruption and forces us to rethink the habits on how work gets done. And just like you said, this group is highly important to us. They represent 27% of the workforce by 2025.
Wow.
They are a third of the global population. They've lived through 2 global crises, and they, in fact, do want to work differently than what we're accustomed to.
Well, so I'm not going to hire a 22-year-old, put him in a cubby for 50 years, and give him a gold watch. Is that right?
Well, I think you still can, but it's going to be much harder, and we're going to have to change the way we do things. When they come to work, think about them. They are the most racially and ethnically diverse generation ever. They're on track to be the most educated, and they're less likely to have worked in high school, which means they're coming in with less sort of work experience. And last but not least, they are the most technologically savvy generation to be on Earth. And so they're going to look for more meaningful work. They're going to probably move jobs about 10 times before they're in their 30s. They're looking for flexibility, transparency, and a smart use of technology. So if we can provide them those things, they might just stay.
Okay, so I need to have a job that says you come and go as you please, more or less, and we matter because fill in the blank.
That's right. So if you're running a company and you want this generation to work for you, there's a few things you can do. Be who you say you are, right? They have been marketed to their whole lives. They discern in authentic behavior pretty quickly. So just make sure you stand for what you say you stand for. Lead with purpose. They want to be a part of an organization that is having an impact on the world. Mm-hmm. Provide them really good managers so they can learn, mentors that they can learn how to be in business. And last but not least, I would say use their superpowers, right? They are resilient. They are the most connected generation alive. They have a comfort with technology that we could only hope for. They can actually help us be more productive in the end.
Why do we hand our kids our phones?
Right. I mean,
crazy. I mean, because it is stunning how many avenues they know about.
Yeah.
And how'd they learn that?
They just learn by doing. I mean, frankly, that's the thing is they spend, some of this current generation have said 45% are on technology constantly, right? So they have unbelievable access to information. They can find information very quickly. They use technology to be more productive. They're probably going to be able to multitask a lot better than we could in the past. And as a result of all those things, their attention spans are really short.
Yep.
So you need to keep them engaged and motivated and interested in the kinds of things that you're trying to get done.
My thought was, Andre, how do we find these young people, and how are they finding the job that's best suited for them?
Well, this is really what the book's all about, is a couple of things have to happen to help them find a job that's best suited for them. I think the most important thing is we have to stop marketing on aspiration. A lot of our companies go out to market for these young individuals, and they're like, we have the best place to work on earth. We have these great values and these great workplaces. And then they come into our companies and the aspiration doesn't live up to reality. And so first and foremost, let's just be really honest about who we are and what we can offer them. I think secondly, is you've got to be able to prove to them that there's opportunity. 1 in 3 new joiners at companies today are leaving within 90 days. They're citing that there's a mismatch in expectations. They're citing that there's no career advancement, and they're not learning at the pace that they want to. So those are things that we could do to attract this generation in the workplace for sure.
All right, so it's called Wrong Fit, Right Fit. It's written by Dr. Andre, Andre Martin. I presume it's available everywhere, Andre?
Everywhere. Amazon, Barnes & Noble. You can even find it on the website, www.wrongfitrightfit.com.
I mean, it's a constant effort, correct, to find the right people. And again, if you said they're going to change 10 jobs, I guess you're challenged, and by the time they're 30, the challenge is to really go in with a plan to say, I know who they are, I know how to keep them, kind of thing.
100%. The best in the business right now, they are not just hiring for a job. They're showing in the job advertisement the progressive path of jobs they could have on coming here. They're laying out careers, not singular opportunities.
Yeah. Andre, appreciate your time. Thanks for being up in Portland, Oregon at 6:39 a.m.
Right.
Appreciate that. You sound very articulate.
Gladly, I'd do it any day.
Well,
have a great day.
I wondered real quick about the United Auto Workers and wanting to shorten that work week to 4 days a week. Is that what we're looking at in the future, Andre?
You know what? It's still too early to tell. We've had so much disruption in the way that we work, but I will tell you this. There are a number of studies now that have had large groups of people that are telling us that 4-day work weeks can produce higher levels of productivity. I mean, we're looking at massive burnout amongst our employees. We are looking at pace that we just can't keep up. So some way to be able to give people a chance to breathe, to rest, to reconnect with their families and their lives is highly important. The more life is magic, the better we're going to be at work.
Nice. And one last thing that just popped in my head. I would challenge whether Gen Z is very good at conversation. They're tremendous at texting. They don't really want to talk on the phone anymore, I don't think.
Eye contact.
But, the skill to have a discussion, if you can do all that and be Gen Z, you got it going on.
Yeah, you really do. And this is one of those things as they enter the workforce, we're going to need to help them with, right? Because they haven't had a lot of professional experience. They didn't work the same jobs we worked in high school. We are going to have to help train them in being able to do things like be really strong in face-to-face conversations, run really good dialogues, run really effective meetings. And that's something that we can help them do. I think they're really looking forward to getting better at those things.
Yeah, well, and work with others and communicate with others, because if you're going to work at home half the time, it's going to be different because you don't have that synergy normal offices used to have.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I mean, the hybrid ways of working have really caused us to have to all pick up some new skills we maybe didn't have before or lost during COVID.
And you might lose some because you're not wearing a mask at work. I mean, that's just where we are right now. There's some people, I'm double masking on a walk. I mean, it's by themselves.
I know. It's happening.
Well, and I don't know how you overcome that except just be patient with them, I guess, and just say, hey, it's safe and stuff. Andre, appreciate your time. How can people connect with you?
You can find me at www.wrongfitrightfit.com or on LinkedIn, and buy the book. Connect with me there.
Yep. Thanks. We learned a lot. Thanks, Andre. Appreciate your time on the Tapman's Towing phone line. ESPN 93.5. We check your sports headlines at 8:42.
Well, baseball wrapped up the season, and the St. Louis Cardinals go out on a win, 4-3 over Cincinnati. Adam Wainwright is what we were spotlighting this past weekend, also down at Busch. And our Parkland Cobras got a game in, and that was a fun experience for them. We had Milwaukee beating the Cubs 4-0. We knew the Cubs were eliminated with Miami and their winning ways over the weekend. So as far as postseason, Milwaukee beating the Cubs 4-0 yesterday, and then moving on to host Arizona, best of 3. We had San Diego over Chicago's White Sox. That final was 2-1. In football, Purdue over Illinois 44-19. I was telling Stevie off the mic I was involved with various Oktoberfest festivities.
Yeah, it looked fun. I saw it on Facebook.
And here it was on Saturday at halftime, and I was thinking 16-13. Hey, the Illini have a shot, but not so much on that third quarter and beyond. But there were some spotlights that you'll hear about with Jay Lehman in after 3, and then Luke Altmaier's perspective on the drive on Lante and Derek Piper's show after 4. So make sure you're listening here on ESPN 93.5. And again, podcast, tap into that anytime for our show or the drive at StevieJay.com. We'll be preparing for Nebraska Friday night at 7 o'clock. We've got some pairs of tickets we're handing out as you text in Illini to 359-2255. Illinois volleyball over Iowa. So our record is 7-7, 2-2 in the Big Ten, and we've got Purdue at 5 o'clock on Wednesday. When it comes to the NFL, not so much for our Chicago
Well, my two
Bears
teams lost
either.
70-26. Illinois and the Saints. Wow. Whew. So that's why you don't put
We
all.
had another 70-point game in the NFL.
No, I'm telling you, combined, Illinois at 40.
Thank you.
We lost 70-26, my two teams.
Okay, gotcha.
So we got to shake it off. That's why I don't put too much into it. That's why I have a life rule that allows me to think about sports for an hour after it's over.
And that's a good way to do it. And maybe not hit send if you're really fired up about everything.
Never respond when
you
you're
start to cuss
emotional.
and stuff into your social media. Let's just take some deep breaths and go get something to drink.
We do really need to beat Nebraska at home.
Yes.
They lost 45-7 to Michigan.
Okay.
And Michigan's really good, but they lost 45-7 at Nebraska. That's a team we can beat now. But then again, Nebraska's coming in thinking, now this is the team we can beat now. That's what they're telling their guys. So,
right.
So we got to play a good, clean game, get a victory, feel better about ourselves. And with Indiana Northwestern, there'll be very competitive games that we can beat those guys.
Right.
And Minnesota maybe. So I'm still saying, as negative as we are this morning, that there is a path to 6, but you got to win against Nebraska.
Okay.
100% have to beat Nebraska, or it's just not going to work out very well.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
Go Illini.
Yeah, let's go.
LA Rams over the Indianapolis Colts 29-23. The Ryder Cup also had America losing.
Yeah, it went south. Yep, 16.5 to 11.5.
What a way to start Monday.
Not so good. 8:45.
Fighting Illini football is back in Champaign as they take on the Nebraska Cornhuskers in Memorial Stadium Friday night, October 6th at 7 p.m. It's our Celebrate Food and Ag game. Bring the family for a special petting zoo area inside Grange Grove with animals to interact with Illini fans and kids. See you at Memorial Stadium for Fighting Illini football's Big Ten matchup against Nebraska. Friday night under the lights on October 6th. Get tickets at fightingillini.com.
As the summer temperatures rise, make sure your energy bills stay low. Call Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing to upgrade to a high-efficiency Lennox air conditioner. Dogtown offers financing, including 0% no interest for qualifying customers. And if you have rooms in your house that don't seem to stay cool, call and ask about the great rebates on the Daikin Douglas mini splits. Call Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing at 217-841-4728. Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, your home's best friend.
Here's the deal. When you combine State Farm home and auto insurance, you save an average of $889. State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow is ready to help you combine home and auto and save right here in Champaign-Urbana. Call 352-1411 today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Average annual per household savings based on a 2019 national survey by State Farm of new policyholders who reported savings by switching to State Farm.
During challenging times, family and health come first. This is Eric Boland with Provident Financial Group. Many of us have spent the past year feeling a little bit out of control. There are steps you can take to help plan for a better financial future. Now's the time to take action and create a financial plan that's right for you. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA, SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Kelsey Furniture in downtown Tuscola sells Tempur-Pedic beds. What's it like?
I'm going to tell you right now, Stevie, that thing is the best thing I've ever slept on in my life. My wife and I both have said we've never had better night's sleep. And the people at Kelsey's were fantastic. Brian is the guy that helped us. You know, as much as I did my research, he had a world of knowledge about beds themselves. Oh, man, it's like sleeping on a cloud, man.
Kelsey Furniture, downtown Tuscola.
Logan at 3-1. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana and vicinity. First half of the week feeling like mid to late summertime. The end portion of the week feeling a little more like mid to late October. But this too shall pass with another turnaround in temperatures and a big warm-up slated for next week. And a warm-up underway for the day-to-day with a mostly sunny sky. Southeast wind on the light side. The high around 87 degrees, almost 10 above average. Clear tonight, mild. Overnight lows either side of 60. For the day tomorrow, mostly sunny, very warm with a summer-like high of 88 degrees and a southeast to south wind. Clouds gather, lows in the 60s for tomorrow night. Sun and clouds for the day on Wednesday. South breezes at a high of 85. Shower activity for the day on Thursday. Much cooler at 73. Cooler still for the day on Friday. Partly sunny skies. A couple of sprinkles for the afternoon up to 64. Only 57 on Saturday. Highs back into the low to mid 60s for Sunday and Monday. Overnight readings in the upper 30s to mid 40s. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldgay.
Hi, this is Kirk Lehman with Aftershock Decals and Design. And right now we are looking for an honest, hardworking individual that wants a career with Aftershock Decals and Design. If you have any kind of experience wrapping vehicles, tinting windows, we want you.
You can't touch this.
No, not that kind of wrapper.
Can't touch this.
Please go to our website at aftershockdd.com, click on the Jobs tab, and send in your resume. We want you. aftershockdd.com.
When you're buying a battery, it's important to look beyond just the price and make sure you're buying a quality battery. So when you're buying one from the big box store, make sure you ask the question, what's the date on this battery? Is it dependable? Sometimes the big box stores have batteries that have been sitting on the shelf for years. Or you can just come to Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable, and buy your battery from the people who only do batteries. Interstate Batteries at 2504 North Madison, Champaign, way out there, but totally worth the drive. How much is dependable worth to you? Interstate Batteries open 6 days a week.
Crossroads Contractor Supply specializes in the delivery of tools and supplies within a 150-mile radius of Champaign-Urbana. Reliable, timely, and with reasonable prices, Crossroads Contractor Supply knows what equipment and tools are needed for your job. Get the job done right with proper tools and equipment. Did something break? Construction materials, tools, as well as safety equipment, all available at Crossroads Contractor Supply. Visit crossroadscontractorsupplyil.com.
Here's what somebody recently said at Pards in Urbana. I was there just a few minutes, and somebody came up and asked if I needed help. And they were incredible, helped me find the size of boot I needed, and then I bought a second pair too. Everything was friendly, everything was excellent. Visit Pards in Urbana, 206 North Maple, between Main and University in Urbana. It's Pards Western Shop since 1968. Or go online and visit pards.com, pards.com. Again, don't miss Jay Lehman today, 3 to 4. Then Luke Altmaier, the quarterback, after 4. He'll be good. He's just really, really thoughtful kid and a great human being, and we're rooting for him. And I don't know how anybody can play quarterback when you don't have time to pass. So some adjustments have to be coming for the play calling, because if we can't protect the quarterback, then you can't protect the quarterback. Right. So you got to figure it out. And hopefully maybe do a little more running and quick passes and things that'll allow them. Then when they get up on us, maybe a fly pattern. I don't know. They'll figure it out. They just know that they don't have exactly what they thought they were going to have, particularly on the offensive line that's been talked about a lot. But not giving up. They're my team.
Go Illini.
I don't know. I did not check the point spread on Illinois-Nebraska, but I would think we'll be a 3 or 4 point favorite because Nebraska certainly struggled as well. So it's a game we really, really, really got to get. And it'll be interesting to see what Jay thinks, because Jay has all the credibility. And then Luke getting his take, too, on stuff. And again, he'll be very positive about his ball club.
It's minus 7.5 Illinois.
Oh, my.
At 10.
Minus 7.5. Wow. Okay, that's a lot more than I expected. Does
that mean
we got it? Or Nebraska comes in with an 8-point underdog, so I'm giving them 8 points before the game starts.
Okay,
it's 8-0 Nebraska. And for you to win your bet, we got to beat them 10-8. We got to get over that. Yeah, well, that's interesting now, isn't it?
So Illinois comes into the game as a 7.5-point favorite.
Yep, okay.
To defeat Nebraska.
It's more than I would have expected.
According to SI Sports.
We should be able to beat them at home on Friday night. And you do that, you're 3-3. You're thinking, we got Minnesota, Indiana, Northwestern. That's 6. We got games that we can win, but you're going to have to beat somebody on the road. Because I think the schedule is Wisconsin home is going to be hard. I think they are better than us.
Right.
But you know what?
And then we got at Maryland on the 14th.
That's a challenge. But if we go in there and play without a zillion penalties.
At Minnesota, we could win.
Oh, I think so.
So
they lost
that's November
Northwestern
4th.
Looks way more competitive than I expected. As they held Penn State to 10 points at half, 10-10 at half.
Veterans Day on the 11th is Indiana.
Yeah. I mean, there's some games still. But again, keep in mind, Indiana's looking at Illinois going, that's one we can get.
That's it.
I just have a sense, and I haven't had a feel for this team at all, but I do have a sense that we're better than we look. There's things that come apart, and that might be the trait of the team. But if you go in and don't have a whole bunch of penalties and don't turn the ball over, I'd like to see what would happen, because we start games where zip, zip, zip down the field, and then just stop, and then it's over. Then something happens and we don't do it anymore.
Right.
So it's hard to figure this ball club. All right. We're back tomorrow on the radio on this October 2nd. It is Monday.
Sure is fun working with you, Stevie. When I was out and about for the Mom Sundance, High School St. Thomas More, their homecoming's coming up. I'm a part of the music for that too. St. Matthew's Oktoberfest and CU Oktoberfest downtown for DSC. Everybody's saying they really appreciate our show. I love that.
Think people are listening.
They are.
We appreciate
and they
them.
appreciate all the things we do in the community to spread the word about all these great events.
Well, that would be you. We are
I am
happy
a good
to promote.
mouthpiece for people.
Well, you know everything going on.
Keep
I know
reaching
that.
out at
Yeah.
steviejay.com if you need me.
Appreciate you, Diane. Thank
Enjoy
you so
the
much.
day.
That's Diane Ducey. I'm Stevie J. Again, Jay Lehman 3 to 4, repeated 5 to 6. And then Luke Altmaier after 4 this afternoon with Lonte and Derek Piper with Kyle Koss. I'm Kyle Tosk. We'll be back tomorrow. Thank you for listening. I'm Stevie J. Have a great Monday.
I'm Justin Ike, co-owner of Fred's Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, Electric, and Underground.
So, Justin, tell me what you see as typical when it comes to sewer repair. Give me a scenario.
Your sewer's backed up and somebody comes along and says, you need this repair for X amount of dollars. Here's my price. And you don't think to go looking for another company or a second opinion because you don't feel like you have time.
So is it possible you might get charged a little more because it's kind of a desperate moment? Do some companies do that?
Oh, absolutely they will. They know you're in a pinch. Typically, if you call us, me or Will can be out there within an hour to look at that problem for you. Whether you call me first, you call me second, make sure you give me a call.
Anything else, Justin?
You can always trust Fred's.
Great to know. Thank you. That's Justin Ike, the co-owner of Fred's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, Electric, and Underground. If you want more information about this great 45-year family-owned company, just go to fredscu.com. That's fredscu.com.
I've got to clean out this garage. Let's see. What's the cheapest and easiest dumpster service in our area?
Here's what I found. The doggy bag.
Think she's broken. I'm not looking for takeout. Siri, try again.
The doggy bag from Bulldog Disposal in Mahomet.
Doggy bag? What's that?
If you got junk that needs to go, but you don't want the hassle of having an enormous dumpster delivered, grab a doggy bag, keep it as long as you need. They'll come take it away. For more information, just visit bulldoggybag.com.
That's bulldoggybag.com.
As Tapman's Towing celebrates 50 years of serving Central Illinois, we're always seeking good people to serve our great customers. Our team of expert tow professionals would like to interview others with CDLs, previous tow experience, or a strong interest in serving others. If you enjoy serving people, love working in the outdoors, and looking for a career, not just a job, we should talk soon. Do you have a strong desire but lack the experience? We should still talk. Visit our career page at tapmanstowing.com.
So when was the last time you saw a best deal guarantee?
You mean a promise that actually held up?
Right.
That some unknown online entity didn't want you to log in and download a code and then re-verify as you join some club.
Drives you nuts, I know.
And then once you purchase that set of steak knives...
Well, Dick Van Dyke Appliance World is a lot simpler. You find a verified great deal and they beat it. Just show them the deal you saw. A newspaper clipping or the online cart price will do, and then you're good.
At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, it's one of those instances where you see a best deal guarantee and
you get the best deal.
This is Dennis Rieken, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. Our exclusive 10-year protection plan comes free with most appliance purchases. Whether it's a GE, Whirlpool, Frigidaire, Bosch, or any of our 30 brands, I guarantee we will beat any competitor's deal. Wow!
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, get the whole store.
Habitat for Humanity of Champaign County has been bringing people together to build homes, communities, and hope since 1991. To date, Habitat of Champaign has built 118 homes, but the need for safe, decent, and affordable housing is greater than ever. When you donate your time or money to Habitat or make a purchase from the Habitat Restore, you are empowering local families and helping them achieve the strength, stability, and self-reliance they need to build a bright future for themselves. For more information about Habitat for Humanity of Champaign, please visit cuhabitat.org.
The Champaign Park District has some terrific fall events to jot down on your day planner. Flannel Fest will be in downtown Champaign and Westside Park from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. October 14th and 15th with music, a mustache contest, and lumberjack show. The Great Pumpkin Hunt has you looking for small painted rocks in area parks throughout the month of October. On Wednesday, October 25th at Marketplace Mall between 5 and 7 p.m., enjoy the free Halloween Fun Fest. Learn more at champaignparks.com.
By now, you've all heard the expression, when you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481 for PDR Automotive. They are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR. But who are they? They, the PDR staff, understand that a name is only as good as the people that represent it. The PDR staff has more than 335 years of combined automotive experience. Several employees now on staff for more than 25 years. PDR, more than just a name. Family owned and operated, now celebrating over 50 years in business.
Like every bank, there's a time every day when we stop making loans. But at Iroquois Federal, we never stop making a difference. Thanks to an amazing team of employees who give back to their local communities all over Central Illinois. From hospital boards and local school programs to Kiwanis and the United Way, Iroquois Federal employees donated more than 1,000 volunteer hours last year. And we'll do it again next year, because the only thing we like more than making a loan is making a difference. Iroquois Federal, still friendly, still local, still here. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.